Hey guys, my name is Andrew Ryver. I'm the Creative Arts Associate here at First Christian Church, and wanted to take a few minutes just to give you a more detailed, in-depth rundown of my pedal board, what I'm using, how I'm using it, and hopefully you guys can take something away from it. If you're interested in one of these pedals, maybe you'll hear something you haven't before or learn something new about it. I wanted to start off this video by talking about what I'm running my pedals on. I met this company at NAMM called Temple Audio, and they introduced me to the Duo 24, and it's a pedal board system that they've created that takes away the need of Velcro. They have these metal plates that adhere to the back of each pedal, and they sit on the surface of the board, and you screw them on underneath, and so it makes it really easy to organize things, and also it's completely customizable. They have lots of different modules, inputs, outputs, and power options to have, and so super inexpensive, a great way to go, and I'm loving mine. To start off, my signal chain, I'm running underneath the board into a JHS little black box buffer. And what a buffer does is when you have so much cable length from your guitar to your board, from your board to your amp, and everything in between, your signal loss can be pretty detrimental to your tone. And so what a buffer does is it speeds that signal up, really strengthens it all the way until your amp, and gives you the best tone possible. And mine's doing a great job. JHS did an awesome job creating that thing. Underneath the board as well is my Voodoo Labs Mondo, and that powers everything on my board, including my LEDs underneath. And it's just really clean power. I don't have any noise. It's a little bit expensive, but if you're looking for that next level power, that's the way to go. So going into the top of the board, I want to show you guys my clean signal really quick without any effects, and this is that. And then the first pedal in my chain is my compressor. It's a Signa Comp by CMAT Mods. And this pedal just has a really nice low end presence as well as some long sustain to it. My favorite feature that it has is it just adds a nice sparkle to my tone. And so this is my favorite pedal. I've had it on my board the longest and just really enjoyed it. And so here's without. And here's with. So that pedal is always on. Another pedal that's always on in my chain is my first stage overdrive, the JHS Morning Glory. And so really quick, here's without, and here's with. So that's my always on signal. Those two pedals never really come off when I'm playing. Moving from the next portion in my chain is a Road Rage looper. It's got 4 loops in it, and it controls a number of different pedals across my board. The first one in the loop is the Pog Nano by Electro Harmonics, and this is just an octave generator. And so I use this to fatten up my lead lines or really create some warm swells because I've been really getting into ambient sounds lately. And so we've been playing this song called Beautiful, and so I use this a lot of times for that lead line. And so this is how that sounds without. And this is with. And oftentimes I'll rarely use it just by itself, and so I'll throw on a reverb and a delay with that as well. So this is how that sounds. So it just really creates a nice presence and helps cut through the mix a little bit more when you throw that guy on. From there, I move into my boost. It's a Spark Mini Booster by TC Electronics. A cool feature with this pedal is it has momentary switching to it. So you can hold down the switch and it turns and activates the pedal. And then you can play a short lead line, and rather than having to go back and turn the pedal off, you can just let your foot off and it deactivates the pedal. I run it in my looper though, just for ease of access. And it's just a clean volume boost. And so it takes my guitar signal and amplifies that, rather than some guys run it after their drives, but I just prefer to run it before. And so this is what it sounds like without, and this is Amazing Grace lead line. And this is with. So that's another pedal I use to really help me cut through the mix in the house. From there, I move into my first stage morning or overdrive, and I already talked about the morning glory a little bit, but this guy's just a really transparent, clean overdrive. It doesn't add too much to my tone, and I like my notes to really stand out. It also has a bright switch on it that adds sparkle as well, just like the Signa Comp. So really recommend that pedal. JHS did a great job with it. From there, I move into my second stage overdrive, which is the Scarlet Love by Selah Effects. And this pedal is also really transparent, but I run it as a second stage, and so I have the gain setting much higher. And so this is without, and this is with. You also, it's really responsive when you go up on the neck as well. So really enjoying that pedal. From there, I leave my overdrive section and I go into my tuner, which is the Polytune Mini. Not going to go much into detail about a tuner, but a cool thing that they had in their pedals is you can strum your entire guitar and it'll tell you what string is out of tune rather than having to pluck each string and taking too much time with that. From there, I move into my volume pedal, which is a classic audio volume roller. And what this company did that I thought was really cool is they took the standard volume pedal size and just decreased it. So it opened up a lot of reality for me on my board. So you just take your foot over the top and you roll in with it. So super cool little pedal. The LED light also indicates how much volume you have based off of how bright the LED is. So if you can tell from the video above, the light gets brighter or darker depending on how much volume you have. So cool pedal, definitely recommend that company to check out. From there, I go into my delay section, and my first delay pedal is the Carbon Copy by MXR, and this is a really warm analog delay. I really like using this for filler parts, or if I want a little bit more trails to arpeggiated stuff or swells. It also has this little mod button up here that adds a nice chorus effect to your trails. And so here's without that pedal, and here's with. So I have the regeneration pretty high, just because I use that a lot of times for swells, and so that sounds really nice, really warm. And then from there, I move into my main delay pedal, which is the Strymon Timeline. And if you're a worship guitarist, I'm sure you've heard all about these guys. For me, they can get really detailed, but I like to keep it simplified. I have 4 main presets and 2 banks that I use. The first preset I have is my lead line, and that's just a standard pattern delay that they have that came with the pedal. And so here's without. Here's with. So I didn't want my lead lines to be too dry, and so that's a nice effect and delay without being too oversaturated with delays. Into my second preset, I run a swell. It's an auto swell, and I think that Strymon did a great job with this delay. I have a cool feature that I found out about the Timeline is a lot of guys use the expression port to bank or to use their tap tempo. I found out that you can use a favorite switch with that. So basically, what a favorite switch does is it'll take the parameters of your preset and it can change them to whatever you want it to do. And so for me, I wanted to be able to have an auto swell, but also be able to switch into my standard delay without having that weird cutoff that the Timeline does if you switch back into a different preset. They have that option in the global parameters to have a buffered bypass, but that cuts too much tone in my opinion. And so really quick, here's how this favorite switch from Analog Endeavors works. This is my standard delay with the swell parameter. And then this is with a swell. And then I can easily switch back into my regular delay without it cutting off the swells. So that's how the favorite switch works and how I use it with the timeline. My third preset is the ice preset, and that just adds a nice little shimmer to my delays. So this is without, and this is with. And I can also control that with the favorite switch and turn that effect up. Just like that. My last preset that I use is my dotted eighth. And so that's just the standard U2 sound. So that's my timeline. I keep it really basic and simple, so it's easy to lead worship at the same time. I don't want to be tap dancing too much. From there, I move into my reverb, and usually this is always on. It's a Strymon Blue Sky. I keep the true bypass side on. It's just a standard reverb. So here's without, and here's with. So nice and subtle. On the left side, the favorite switch, I have that famous shimmer effect. And so here's without that. And here's with. So I try not to use that too much just because it can get repetitive, but I'll bring it out once maybe a set for a special part in a song. So a lot of times, like I said, that Blue Sky will stay on in the set. And then from there, I move into my last, but my newest pedal, the Eventide H9 Harmonizer. And this pedal, you could spend days trying to figure out all the different presets that it comes with. It's a cool pedal that has different algorithms that you can adjust with an iPad or a computer. And so just a really cool pedal with lots of options. I use it mainly for ambient things. For instance, this first preset that I found that is actually stock with the pedal, it's the number one preset, it's called Ultra, and it just adds this nice wash underneath your signal. And it's really, you can probably pull it off with just the timeline and the Blue Sky, but this pedal is just really convenient and sounds really good. And it's easy, like I said, to limit tap dancing, just having one preset that does a lot of different things together. And so here's without that. And here's with. You can also throw that auto swell on right here. So I've been having a lot of fun with that and experimenting. It also has some other nice sounds right here. This is another one that I've become fond of. This is their number 10 preset. And this is without. And this is with. So lots of different ambient options. I also use it a lot for tremolos or harmonics, and just a really cool pedal that models a lot of different sounds, and Eventide did a sweet job with it. And so this is my board. I love playing with it every time I bring it out. There's just something new I learn about it every day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. Feel free to email us. Our emails are attached to this. We'd love to connect with you and answer any questions you have with it. But if you've stuck with us through this whole thing, thanks for watching. Appreciate ya.